People often talk about physique matters, the size truly matters and all that, right? So how do you view that physique really matters?
Size really doesn't matter in a fight, only in movies. Size really matters in a fight because it's physics. Imagine a 100 kg person just touching you, you fall off. So it's like that. That's why there is so many weight divisions in combat sports.
So is there anyone who inspired you? You have somebody as an inspiration?
Movies like Rocky, it's
Okay.
a boxing movie.
Okay.
Kannada movie called Yuvaraja, Shivraj Kumar sir's Yuvaraja movie. And
So I guess you grew up watching all that.
yeah, all these kind of movies which has combat sports in it. Blood sport is a big movie. It brought a big change in my
Okay.
life. My interest in becoming a fighter increased more than being a martial artist because of blood sports.
Few people say that MMA is good form of an art, and few people think about saying it is a violent, aggressive form of an art. So how do you see that now?
People who have never tried something will always talk something. Every sport has its own beauty. MMA is something that can teach a person to how to be violent in a controlled way.
How do you see Bruce Lee's skill set?
Bruce Lee is a martial artist, and he has a theater background. So he knows how to present his martial arts skills in front of a camera. So he's a very, very smart guy.
Welcome to another episode of High on Why. We are going to deep dive about martial arts. We have our sensei Prajwal Shivarudrappa, who has a rich background in karate, boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts. He's taken a great initiative, and he's hosting a sports festival in Mysuru, which is going to be held in month of July of 20th and 27th. So we will be hearing more about the sports festival and also about the martial arts. Welcome, sir. Welcome to our show. Can you take us through your journey into martial arts, and what things inspire you to take up karate?
I started when I was a 3-year-old baby. My mom
Okay.
put me into karate class just because it was right next door. It was just basically for physical activity. But the day I walked in till date, I'm hooked. Karate,
Okay.
I fell in love with karate the moment I saw all the karatekas standing in line in white uniform, like they all look like superheroes to me. My seniors, the older, practitioners in the dojo. I fell in love with the atmosphere and the culture, and the coach was calling out, giving counts in Japanese language. So I fell in love with that. That is how it all started.
But as a 3-year-old baby, it would have been very soon for you to understand, what it is. So, how did that happen, basically?
Thankfully, I had good teachers who made
Okay.
karate more interesting, even for a 3-year-old child.
Nice, good. You had a great coach then.
Yeah.
Okay, so why MMA now?
After competing in the sport of point fight in karate in point fighting division, I wanted to see how effective karate was in MMA in full contact fight. Actually, it did not start with MMA. I wanted to start with some striking art like boxing, and I got into boxing without any kind of formal training. If you go back to my fight videos and see, I have used only karate moves there.
Okay.
In karate, you must be aware we have this habit of yelling. "Hey," when we hit. So that turned up, and I got warnings for that. It was so I started with boxing. I won a bronze medal in state level championship using only karate. And then I tried my hand in kickboxing. Even there, I used only karate moves. I had to adapt, make some changes because of the change in rule set. So I kind of managed to win bronze medal even in state level kickboxing championship. And then like I said, in boxing I ended up shouting. In kickboxing I ended up falling, which is a reflex. I ended up falling to avoid a hit from my opponent.
Okay.
So that is something from karate. And then I felt like I got warnings for doing these things, and I felt like, what's going on? And if I try to go back to sports karate, just to evolve and to get into to make it to Olympics, they brought in lot of changes.
Okay.
They tried to make it more of a sport than a combat sport,
Okay.
to make it more safe and everything. So I could not adapt to the new rule set and new methods and strategies. So I felt like I belong nowhere. And then I got introduced to something called MMA,
Okay.
which is very, very close to old school karate. Old school karate championships is where you can grab your opponent's uniform, you can punch a little harder. It's okay if the nose bleeds. If you punch hard to the body only, then you get a point. It's like that. It was like that. And MMA is so close to that. So I felt like I should try this. And more than anything, I wanted to try the effectiveness of MMA. I wanted to explore. I'm a curious guy. That is how I got into MMA, and I did well.
Okay, so to add on to that, few people say that MMA is good form of an art, and few people think about saying it is a violent, aggressive form of an art. So how do you see that now?
See, people who have never tried something will always talk something. Yeah, I know what combat sport is. Every sport has its own beauty, its own details, and there are so many amazing things about every sport,
Right.
any combat sport. So MMA is something that can teach a person to how to get how to be violent in a controlled way. If you choose, you can hurt someone, but you are also choosing not to hurt that person. That is something you learn from martial arts, not just MMA, any kind of martial arts where they teach you how to fight.
Right. Okay. So you have the 5th degree black belt in karate, right?
Yeah.
And you have won a lot of nationals, international medals in boxing, kickboxing, and
And
MMA.
karate.
And karate, yes. So how did you see yourself being in different forms of disciplines?
Being a 5th degree black belt, winning medals in so many championships, being 7 times Dasra karate champion consecutively, and winning in so many other forms of combat sports. It's all great. It's all a great milestone to reach. But what's really important is the kind of person you become when you are reaching these milestones.
Right.
One day after you win even an Olympic medal, when you go back home, when it's just you and your Olympic medal in your room, that medal will have no value. After 10 years, because it's a thing. But what you have become to achieve that milestone,
Right.
to win that is more important, is what I believe. And I think that is what everybody should agree on.
Right. So how do you balance the trainings in these 3 different disciplines?
See, the beauty of being a karateka or an MMA player is you have to be a hybrid fighter. The founders of karate, they had this concept in their mind. We have to come up with a martial art that has everything in it. So they took techniques from Muay Thai, Taekwondo, wrestling, Aikido, Kung Fu, Indian martial arts, yoga, I don't know what all. So to bring in best of everything into and making it into one martial art, that was karate all about. That's why karate is pretty young compared to other martial arts. MMA is not much different. You have to learn everything and be a hybrid fighter, athlete. So it's the same principle for me. I do weight training. I do all kind of sports. It will only make me a better fighter. Whatever you do, if you keep grinding, it will make you a better fighter.
That's right. So is there anyone who inspired you? You have somebody as an inspiration?
In martial arts, of course, all the movie stars from from the past were my inspiration. Movies like Rocky. It's a boxing movie.
Okay.
Kannada movie called Yuvaraja. Shivraj Kumar sir's Yuvaraja movie. And
So I guess you grew up watching all that.
all these kind of movies which has combat sports in it. Bloodsport is a big movie that is a movie that brought a big change in my life. My interest in becoming a fighter increased more than being a martial artist because of Bloodsport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in combat sports, people often, talk about physique matters, the size truly matters and all that, right? So how do you view that? Physique really really matters, or you think that strategy, using a strategy works more better?
Size really doesn't matter in a fight, only in movies. Size really matters in a fight because it's physics. Imagine a 100 kg person just touching you, you fall off. So it's like that. That's why there is so many weight divisions in combat sports. So size
Okay.
really matters. Strategy matters. Size matters. Everything matters here. It will be very, very dangerous if you if there's no weight divisions. So that it really matters. Size matters. So it's
Yeah.
very important to grow big and be muscular and very, very strong. It's very important.
Okay, so that's why in the championships you have the
Weight divisions.
weight divisions. How do you see Bruce Lee's skill set?
Bruce Lee is a martial artist, and he has a theater background, so he knows how to present his martial arts skills in front of a camera. So he's a very, very smart guy.
Can you tell us
but-
in more detail about his techniques which he uses?
I used to watch a lot of Bruce Lee movies. I got into kumite fighting when there was no YouTube. And my dojo, my sensei is all about traditional martial arts. There is not much emphasis given to fighting kumite. So I had to rely on Bruce Lee movies. And once I started inculcating his techniques, his footwork, I started winning medals. Of course, I had to bring in some changes. I was not supposed to yell like him, like a cat or something. But he was doing pretty, moves that made sense.
Okay.
So I started applying it in my dojo. It worked. He was not showing moves just to entertain. He was trying to make people understand what martial art is. So he was a very smart guy. Yeah,
Okay.
I true respect for him. Because of this guy, MMA happened.
Right.
He was the person who started mixing everything up and showing it in movies. He used to use boxing moves, kung fu, karate, judo, jiu-jitsu, everything in on screen. It inspired so many martial artists to mix everything up, and that is why even the biggest MMA promotion on the planet, UFC, happened because of Bruce Lee. They call Bruce Lee a father of mixed martial
Mixed
arts.
martial arts, right? To practice such kind of martial arts, and also when you practice martial arts, you definitely learn the disciplines and resilience and control over it, right? So how do you overlook that? And how do you also coach your students towards it?
See, when it comes to teaching these things like code of conduct, discipline, respect, and everything, you can't teach anybody. You have to do it, and students will follow.
Okay.
So, because I'm an athlete as well, I'm a combat sports athlete, and I have trained under so many coaches, and I have competed everywhere. I also get this chance to travel a lot, meet a lot of people, get exposed to different cultures, people from other country. I have even traveled abroad, how their country works, when I listen to the history of their country. See, all of these things will only make you a better person, and your job is to make yourself a better person so that your student will learn these things from you. You can't teach somebody how to respect. You can't tell a child, you have to respect me.
Yeah.
It's funny because you are already showing how to be rude to your child by saying that. So you have to be respectful. Those are the things you have to do first.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's something they pick up by watching.
Yeah, that is, in a one way it's true, but then also I feel that martial arts is also giving discipline to the students. So that is the reason a lot of schools right now, they have one form of a martial art as a part of the curriculum.
True.
Right? So for students who has to start their journey into forms of martial art, what is the form of martial art you expect them to start with?
These days, people are offering MMA directly. But
Okay.
I would
In
recommend...
schools?
No.
In general?
Not in school, in general.
In general,
Yeah.
okay.
But I would recommend everyone to start with traditional karate because it will teach you... It will give you the perfect foundation you need.
Okay.
Yeah. It will teach you to stay, consistent. because of the kind of belt grading it has.
Okay.
Step by step. For example, belt system is going to, it's like short-term goals a child can have, a karateka can have. So they'll work consistently. It will keep a person committed to something. So if traditional martial arts will teach you these kind of things, commitment, not giving up attitude, all these kind of things traditional martial arts will give. And then you can explore other forms of martial arts, including MMA.
Okay. So now, modern martial arts has, come, combat martial arts have come. So how is the coaching techniques these days? Because I've heard from one of my friend that they learned it in a very hard way. Actually, she was mentioning the first day when she went to the karate class, they actually punched, right? So how is the technique right now? Is the same old techniques is being used?
The teaching methods has evolved just like the way the very art has evolved. So people are exposed to new training methods and everything. So I think it should be a good balance of hard and the soft way. Of course, when you walk into to a martial arts club, they start punching you and make your nose bleed or something. You will feel, what is this? You'll get traumatized. You'll never step back
Probably
or
never
advocate.
step in again, yeah.
It's like that. So there is a point where you have to go hard, and even when you are like an elite, there'll be times when you have to go soft. It's a good balance we should have as a coach. We should make students be comfortable with the art. Yeah, our job is to show the world, show the student how the beauty of the art.
Right.
That is the job of a coach.
Yeah, true.
Hard, soft. We should combine everything, mix everything.
Right, but then on the first day, if you
First day hitting your student, it would be very funny.
Yeah.
Funny way of losing a student.
True. Okay. So let us know about the event which you have initiated and going to host.
Yeah.
The event is going to happen in Mysuru, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us more about the event and what inspired you to host such a sports event.
Yeah, on July 20th in ICANN International School, Mysuru, I'm organizing a sports festival. We are calling it PKD Sports Festival. PKD means Prajwal Karate Dojo. It's my academy's name, karate school's name. So last year we did submission grappling championship where grapplers from judo, jiu-jitsu, MMA and all kind of grappling background will come and fight under a certain set of rules. It was a huge success.
Okay.
People loved it. And it inspired me to, touch other sports as well and make it big. So I decided to start with a football championship.
Okay.
And then I have also tried my hand in weightlifting. I love to lift weights. So I brought in deadlift championship.
Okay.
There will be arm wrestling championship. So like that, slowly more, I decided why stick to one sport.
So there are various segments of sports in this festival.
We have brought in 9 sports for our sports festival. There will be championship. And it's not just a bunch of sport championship. That's PKD Sports Festival is more than just a bunch of sporting championship. It is, it's like, my vision is to, when an athlete or a fitness enthusiast, someone who loves physical activity walks in, he should feel like he's in heaven. You look left, there is football championship happening. You can enjoy the team sport happening there. If you look in front, there's arm wrestling. You turn around, it's weightlifting. You look right, there's so many activities going on like chess, Rubik's Cube, archery, sports quiz. So there will be so many activities going on.
Right.
Even if you are not a person who enjoys physical activity, you'll fall in love with it. That is the kind of atmosphere we are trying to bring in. Yeah, and we are calling it sports festival for this reason. It is a celebration of movement and physical activity and being fit and athletic.
How is this festival structured? You have any skill sets attached to it or age limitations attached to it? How is this structured basically?
Except for cross country, everything else is open for all age.
Okay.
Football championship, for example, is open for all.
Okay.
Anybody of any age can come up and take part. That is how it's going to be. Of course, for weightlifting and arm wrestling and submission grappling championship, there is no much age divisions, but there is weight divisions.
Okay.
Because size matters, like I said already.
Yeah.
And for other activities, nothing. You can just pop in and enjoy the activity.
Okay. So where are from participants coming to this event?
I have been getting enquiries from all over India right now. Last time for our submission grappling championship, all the states from South India had come. Fighter, even from Mumbai, one guy from USA had taken part. He ended up winning the heavyweight division, by the way. So for this time, I have been getting enquiries from all over India.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially for football, Kerala is showing a lot of interest.
Okay. So how you are visioning this sports festival to be in the future?
See, this time itself, I'm trying to bring in a lot of things. In future, it's going to be more than just 9 sports. This time we have flash mobs, self-defense workshop, MMA workshop,
Okay.
sports quiz, and board games and all that. We are trying to bring in more and more sport. There are so many beautiful sports that are not in Olympics.
Okay.
There are so many sports which doesn't even have world championships. So we want to encourage that sports as well. So we'll bring in those things as well. We'll make it, the sports festival. I want to make it an international event. I want international players to walk in.
Okay.
I want to do a meet and greet where I can get in, celebrity athletes and have some talks with them, because it will inspire the younger generation.
Right.
That is the future thing.
So what's your goal as a coach for PKD Karate Academy?
As a coach, my goal is, and will always be to help my students. That's the ultimate thing as a coach. As a owner of PKD, I want to have more number of dojos all over the planet, if you ask me. Right now we have only one, actually 2, but we want to, spread. Yeah, that is my ultimate goal as a owner of PKD.
Okay. So I'm sure to conduct such a big festival, sports festival, you would need a lot of people to help you out. So may I know who's supporting you with this festival?
Yeah, 8 years ago, I joined a school called ICANN as a fitness coach, ICANN International School. At that point of time, I was more active as an athlete. I used to compete more. They always encouraged me. They always supported me in every possible way a school can support an athlete. Slowly, I proposed that I want to start my academy in your school.
Okay.
They supported me with that as well. Last year, like I said, I did submission grappling championship. They were open-minded. They supported me. They had same things happening this time. The school is ICANN International School is really supporting me big time. They are our official partners for the event.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are the venue partner as well. So.
Any more sponsors coming in at your event?
Yeah, so there are Manipal Hospital is our medical partner, and our food partner is Navu Foundation.
Okay.
It is a NGO which supports women, and Rooster. It's a poultry farm run by my own student.
Okay.
So they are providing
lovely.
all the necessary chicken, all the necessary protein for our athletes. Yeah.
But otherwise also a student supporting you is...
A student is supporting me, yeah.
Yeah. Feel proud of you.
Yeah, very proud of me, yeah.
Right. So how do you look at the esports? Do you even consider esport as a form of a sport, or how do you consider it?
Esport will... See, any type of competition is a competition. It will make you a better athlete. Of course, it will make your eye and hand coordination better. These days, earlier, I would say esport is not a good idea because you sit a lot. It's about inactivity. It's not good for your heart, your whole body actually. But these days, the technology has changed a lot. If you are playing online boxing game, you can literally hold remotes You can wear a VR and you can box. You can still do physical
you can
activity.
actually feel like
Things
you're
are
there in the
changing.
ring.
Yeah, exactly. Even cricket, anything. Things are changing. Like earlier, it used to be sit, use mouse and keypad.
Correct.
You have a hunchback, big paunch. That is how it was. Now things have changed. If you see professional esports champions these days, players, nobody is like obese, bad posture or anything. They all look athletic. Because to sit for such a long time to compete in esport, you need a good body. So they also go through rigorous training in
Trainings.
gyms. Yeah.
So, how has been your training session during those old days been? What's your experience in training?
Wins and losses and number of fights, I really have lost count. So many
But
years
there would
of
be
competing.
definitely, I'm sure, there would be one moment, or one fight which you had felt yourself like, yeah, this was the best fight I had had.
Yeah. So I said I started my training in 1993, but I started winning in fights only after competing for 7 years. 7 years, I was not able to win at all. Not even a bronze. Forget about winning even a first round. I kept losing and losing and losing and losing and losing because I'm the only one who's interested in competing in my dojo. The rest of them are about traditional karate, just practice. It's a spiritual journey for them. For me, it was about fighting. So I ended up training 6 hours a day, whatever my sensei has taught, figuring out how to apply traditional karate into fighting, how to change, observing fights, you know, fight scenes from movies, Bruce Lee's techniques, everything. Muhammad Ali's fights were very accessible. They were telecasting that on ESPN. So I learned things from that fight.
Yeah.
So I used to train for 6 hours. Even when I'm sitting in front of my book for studies, my mom thinks I'm studying, but I'm like figuring out how can I use Muhammad Ali's head movement into karate? How can I fix? So it was like that. It was more about figuring it out, and nothing came easy, and that was the fun part. You know, you don't have the puzzle. It was like a puzzle. You don't know something, and you are solving the puzzle. It was like that. So yeah, it was like that for me.
And about your training sessions.
Yeah, my training session includes resistance training with weights, with resistance bands itself, and I do a lot of bag work.
Okay.
I run, I swim, I spar a lot with, because I run my karate academy, there are a lot of children I can spar with. With children, you can always develop creativity.
Yeah.
So I spar a lot. Throughout the day, I am physically active. That's how I train. I keep my training very intense and fun at the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is my secret of being fit and athletic.
So I'm sure you would have, won championships because you are a national and international medalist, right? So after winning or losing, a competition, how do you feel mentally? How disturbing it is? And also during your old days, how you took it, and now how you're taking it.
When I was younger, like in my late teenage and early 20s, a loss would mean the end of the world to me. I couldn't sleep properly. It disturbed my mental health. It was that bad.
Yeah.
But like I mentioned already, it's not about the medal. It's about what you become in the process of becoming a champion. That is what is important. That's the lesson I learned because of all those sleepless nights. How to cope with the losses. How to cope with the injustice. With time, with age, I had to somehow manage to live with the losses, right? So this is the thing I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you win, how do you feel it?
So in Kannada they say ತೆಗಳಿಕೆಗೆ ತಗ್ಗದಿರು ಹೊಗಳಿಕೆಗೆ ಹಿಗ್ಗದಿರು.
Okay.
Or something like ಗೆದ್ದಾಗ ಹಿಗ್ಗದಿರು ಸೋತಾಗ ಕುಗ್ಗದಿರು, something like that. It means take, win and loss the same way. It's the same thing to me earlier. Like loss was the end of the world, win means I was on top of the world. Now it's all the same to me. It means nothing to me. If you watch my fight videos, everything is entertaining because I'm calm. And I'm calm because of all the things I've been through, all the losses and injustice and everything I've been through. Yeah.
Okay. So while coaching your students, what is that you like a maybe a giveaway to your students? And
I
how do you do
always
that?
I always teach my students to enjoy competing. You should. I always try to fix their mindset like this. You are going there to give best performance. You are not going there to win.
Okay.
You are not going there to win.
Okay.
If you think of winning, it gives you anxiety. It puts a lot of pressure on a child
Yeah.
or anyone. On
Definitely.
myself.
Yeah.
So I really don't care about winning and losing. That's what worked for me and so many athletes. That is what I try to inculcate in my students,
Lovely.
and that will turn up even in everything they do in their life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just enjoy the process. Don't worry about the result.
so how's your diet have been? In your training days, and how is your diet now as a coach?
It's almost the same. Try and avoid processed food. South Indian thali is the best
Yes.
for any athlete. It has ragi mudde, it has a lot of rice, macronutrients, everything's there. If you see the plate, South Indian thali plate, doesn't matter which state you are in, it has everything you need. Vegetarian thali is amazing for an athlete. It has everything you need.
Yes.
So that's always my go-to. And for championships, sometimes I'll have to cut my weight. That time I'll stick to ragi mudde for few days, and I will avoid rice completely.
Okay.
And when I'm getting even more closer to championship, I'll cut down on ragi mudde completely, and I'll stick to only meat, fish,
Okay.
and then only veggies, and then give up on food completely, and then give up on water. That is how we cut
Okay.
8 to 9 kgs in 7 days.
Okay.
So that is what
Then
I
how
do.
do you manage with your energy levels?
Very good question. After the weigh-in, we try to replenish as much as possible. We first of all cut weight because we want to gain weight after the weigh-in, so that we have the size advantage over our opponent.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is what we do before the fight.
Okay.
Or if I'm not competing or anything, usually I'm having homemade food, no processed food, no soda, no bad habits. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all. Even now, it's the same.
Okay.
That's the secret of my fitness.
Okay, sir. This is a fun segment for us. Okay,
Okay.
a rapid fire kind of a questions, and you can answer it in a one line also, not in a
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay. So one punch knockout.
True. Happens. It works. You
Okay.
can watch my videos, fight videos.
Okay. So martial artist hands are deadly weapon. Need to register legally?
No.
Okay.
you don't have to register. Yes, martial artists' hands are deadly. It could be deadly.
If somebody is picking up a street fight, so how do you view it?
That person is a bully and never had a formal training or is uncivilized.
Bruce Lee versus Muhammad Ali.
If I answer this question, it will put me in trouble. In different, Bruce Lee would win in different situation. Muhammad Ali would win in
You can
different
also
situation.
explain the way you explained us, back sometime.
If Bruce Lee took part in boxing championship, obviously because of the rule set and size advantage Muhammad Ali would win. If it was like a MMA kind of scenario, maybe Bruce Lee would take Muhammad Ali down and submit him or something. And yeah, it would go like that.
Okay, different situations.
It's 50-50.
Different strategies.
Different situation, different strategy.
Okay. If you had to pick a martial arts spirit animal for yourself.
Spirit animal, okay.
Yeah, spirit animal. What it would be and why?
I always admired this creature called honey badger. It's a very small animal, but it
Yes.
has no fear. It even fights lion. Zero fear. Something that really awesome about this animal is it has this never give up attitude. It keeps going on and on and on.
So, what's the funniest or most embarrassing that's ever happened to you or your student during a class or a demonstration?
Oh God.
I think this is gonna be interesting.
My karate master Shivadas sir took me to a karate demonstration. When I was a teenager, I was very good at flashy kicks.
Okay.
So he made one of his senior students to hold a roof tile in his hand at my face level. I had to jump, spin in the air, and land a kick on
Okay.
it. Typical. It's called 360-degree kick.
Okay.
Mr. Van Damme made it famous, so I had mastered that. I kicked that roof tile very hard. It was so hard, that tile turned into dust, and it fell on all the audience.
Oh,
And I felt very awkward and embarrassed about that.
but that's okay. You showed your skill.
I was just scared that it could have hurt someone.
someone, yeah.
So after that, I stopped doing that kick-in demonstrations.
Okay, nice. That's all. That's all for the rapid fire questions. So, finally, sir, what is that, and what advice you want to give it to the audience right now watching the podcast?
My first of all, I would like to welcome everybody to my sports festival,
Definitely.
because you're gonna have a blast.
Definitely, the young
You are
crowd
going
would
to have
be
a
there,
blast. You talk about activities, you talk about food, everything's covered. Entertainment, everything is covered. So please be there. It's not just for sports enthusiasts and athletes, it's for everybody. Everybody you are going to enjoy. If you love watching a sport, you should be there. If you love playing a sport, you should be there. If you just love the adrenaline, you should be there. So I would like to welcome everyone. And as a coach, I have to say, physical movement and physical movement and fitness is going to help you become strong in many ways, not just physically. It's not just going to make your muscles strong, it will make you mentally strong, emotionally strong,
Right.
maybe financially strong, because you are strong in every way.
Yeah.
So it's very important to stay fit and strong physically. And as a martial artist myself, as a fighter, as a karateka, I would say, please don't judge a book by its cover. It looks violent, but it isn't. It's all about peace. We are the kind of people, martial artists are the kind of people who believes peace and respect and humility is the ultimate goal, and that's the right path. Violence is never the way. That is something you should really
It's
understand.
a lovely message, sir, by the way. And also, I guess after listening from you, we all would also would be joining your festival.
Thank you. You're
so
welcome.
much. Thank you so much for inviting us. And you, with the lovely messages you have given, we had got to know about the martial arts so much today. So thank you for the knowledge, and thanks for being here with us at High on Wine.
Thank you for
sir.
having me. Thank you.